Hello, good afternoon everybody. Welcome to today's cooking show here at Moley Robotics in central London. Today we'll be doing a kimchi and smoked sausage and bell pepper pasta recipe. This is a recipe from Tim Manderson. It's a fusion recipe using spicy tangy kimchi with Polish spicy sausage as well. So I'm going to show you today how the ingredients are prepped and how we load it onto our cooking station here and start the whole process so you can see it using the fresh ingredients. So let's go straight into the recipe preparation, and we'll go to the interface, the tablet, where you'll see the whole recipe, and I'll show you how to prep the ingredients today ready for the recipe to cook so the robotic system can cook this. Okay, so we've got brown onions in a selection of containers. I'll select the bottom container and shows me video how to prep the ingredient. Let's get my container ready. And it's telling me here it's 100 grams of onions. So here we have my fresh onions and we want 100 grams. And the instruction on here is thinly sliced. So we're going to thinly slice these onions. There we go, thinly sliced. We need 100 grams. Let's switch my scales on. The scales are integrated in our interface, so we can see on the tablet exactly how much we need. So it's down to 0, and we now need 100 grams. So let's put in the onions. Minus 100, it's 100 grams of onions there. So that's our first container ready. And then we've got green peppers, which is 100 grams of green peppers. And I have my peppers here. These are fresh peppers bought early this morning. So I want 100 grams. And the instruction here is thinly sliced. So let's thinly slice these peppers. There we go. And we need 100 grams. Scales are ready with the container. 86, 99, 100. So that's 100 grams of peppers. We now need the garlic, which is 8 grams. Put the scales down to 0 on my tablet there. And we want 8 grams of garlic. So here we have some garlic cloves. Great. And it says, the instruction on here is mince the garlic. So it says we require 8 grams. Hopefully that's 8 grams here. Let's mince this one a bit more. Actually, it's 10 grams, a little bit over, but that's fine. Next is 4 grams of modern sea salt. Modern sea salt ready here. So we want 4 grams of that. Put it down to 0. And we have, there we go. So these are my peppers ready. And we've got 80 grams of kimchi. So this is kimchi. This is naturally fermented Vadaz kimchi, live cultured, which is really nice and fresh, and we're going to put 80 grams in here, so I put that down to 0. So that's my kimchi in there. And then you want gokwan paste, which is 20 grams of gokwan paste. So this is sweet and spicy, and gokwan chili paste from Katsu, for Katsu kimchi and stews, which is ideal. A little bit over, but that's fine. It's only 22 grams there. Perfect. So that's done. Next is the 150 grams of passata. So this is passata, which is again Italian sieved tomatoes, and we're going to go straight in with 150 grams. Put it down to, that's okay, slightly over, but we're good. And the final ingredient here is 100 grams of mineral water. The water's ready. This is mineral water, 100 grams. Put it down to 0. And next on the list, I'll confirm that's been done. Next is the fresh spaghetti, long container, and asking for 250 grams. So let's get the long container. That's the long, special long container that we have. That's all my spaghetti ready. I'll confirm that's been done. We then have the molten sea salt in a medium container, which is this one here. And we need 25 grams. Seems a lot, but this is just purely for the spaghetti to go into the water for taste. So 25 grams of salt ready. We confirm that. Chives, which are going to go in another medium container. This one here. Put it down to 0. Asking me to thinly slice 4 grams, and we'll get that done. And that's also confirmed. And then we want Molden sea salt. Now, Molden sea salt is just simply from our salt and pepper shaker. So, and the final part of this recipe is the water. Let's grab the medium pot, which is one of these. Let's put it on the actual scales. Put it down to 0. And I have some water already, which is mineral water. And we want 1,600 grams. 12, 13, 14, 15... 16. Exact. Perfect. Let's start the recipe, and you can see it, how we can cook this from start to finish. Thank you. Okay, so now all the ingredients are prepped, so we're ready to go, and I'll show you now via our interface how we load the system on these special shelves and start the cooking process. So let's go to the tablet so you can see. We can select the recipe on here. So here we have the recipe ready. And we can now start the robotic cook. So kimchi, smoked sausage. Start robotic cook. And so we've already done the ingredients, already prepped. So we simply place it on the shelf here, ready for the robotic arm to take. So we have a selection of positions we can select. So we'll have the bottom shelf on the right-hand side, where we're going to put the brown onions that I prepared earlier. So that's confirmed. Next will be the Polish pork sausage, the peppers, the green peppers, and garlic and salt. And that will go in this position over here. And next will be the kimchi, the gochujang paste, the passata, and the water. We'll put it on the top shelf at the number 1 position on the right. Confirm. Next is the fresh spaghetti, which will be located here. Then we have the Molden sea salt, which is already in position, which is fine. Let me just grab the salt from here. So salt is position number 2. And chives, we're going to put on the 3rd position along the top. Confirm. And the Molden sea salt. Now the salt is going to be added with the salt shaker, which is already in position, so I'll confirm that it's in position on the left-hand side. And the black pepper was also in position there on the top shelf. Olive oil is from a normal oil dispenser, and that's already filled, and that's ready in position. And then we have the water. The water is going to be used to cook the spaghetti. And I've already prepped that, as you saw earlier, and that's in the position on the actual hob itself. And finally, it's done. So let's confirm that. Fine, so that's all the ingredients prepped and on the shelf. We now have the medium pot, which is now the utensils and the pot required to cook this recipe. That's in position on the left-hand side, confirmed. Spatula is on the hook, ready to go. You notice that the imagery is very clear, very diagrammatic, so not to make any mistakes, because the cooking process is very highly precise, and so the spatula has to be on the right way, so the diagram shows you exactly which way it should be faced. So it's in position, and I can confirm that's been done. Again, with the mesh basket, it has to be facing the right way, so that's in position on the second hook from the far right, and that's confirmed. So let's start the cooking process, and we are on YouTube and Instagram today, so if there's any questions you guys have, please do send in your questions, and I'll be happy to answer them live here today. If there's anything more specific in terms of any commercial inquiries, please do send in your question or any information, anything you need to know, and I'll get the commercial team to get back to you. And you can do this via our website. If you go to our Contact Us page, and somebody from the team will get back to you. Also, if you have any projects and you want to send in any plans or any information and you want to arrange a design meeting, please do contact us and we can arrange a design meeting here in the showroom in London. We can do a live demonstration of a recipe and also have a design meeting. If it's out of London, out of the UK, we can arrange a virtual meeting and go through your project in more detail. So you can probably hear in the background a voice notification we have in our interface, which also tells you if you're not in the same area or as the kitchen or in a different room, at least you can hear and listen into what's going on with this particular recipe. Just going to check to see if we have any questions so far. So nothing on YouTube as of yet. Just check on Instagram. Nice to see so many people joining today. Thank you very much, and I hope you enjoy watching today's cooking show. So this is a recipe which we have from Tim Anderson. Tim Anderson is a reputable chef, a professional chef, Michelin star chef, and he was actually on the one of the UK finalists for MasterChef. So together with his recipes and many other famous recipes from famous chefs, we have lots of different cuisines from around the world, Indian, Italian, Chinese, Asian, so many recipes from around the world from well-known chefs and professional chefs. So here the onions have gone in. You can see how the tapping and the actual pouring of the onions is very important. Now all the movements, all the manipulations that the robotic arm does is exactly what the chef would do in terms of making sure all the ingredients are in there, making sure it's the right temperature, and making sure all the adjustments are done at the right time for the recipes, and all the recipes as well. Consistency is very important to make sure that all the recipes taste as they should, because they are very high quality recipes, and all the time and everything's done perfectly by the robotic system and on time.
Grind pepper into pot.
Let's see if there's any further questions on Instagram. Please do keep your comments coming in. Again, like I said, I'll be more than happy to answer them live today.
Take spatula. Stir one. stir 2.
Even down to the movements of the stirring, it's done very, very precisely. It's stirred the exact same amount of times the chef would stir this particular recipe when adding onions and all the other elements of the particular this particular dish. Now, some of the frequently asked questions we do get is, what if something else was to go wrong, or and what if a pet, for example, jumps in the kitchen area? We do have an emergency stop button. Now, this is part of the safety requirements and part of our CE certification for UK and Europe. So we have a safety button that can be activated, which will stop the cooking process, and you can see if there's any issues, and you can return to the cooking process once it's all nice and safe. Now, cooking fresh like this is a real benefit, and a lot of health benefits, in fact, as well. Some of the global food research programs, especially the ones in North Carolina, Chapel Hill, have shown through research that eating fresh meals like this can reduce cancer by about 6%, can reduce diabetes by about 41%, and also other kidney diseases by almost 60%. So the actual benefits of cooking fresh like this is highly important and very, very good for you. They say that this could potentially add 11 years longevity to your lifespan by eating fresh, regular home-cooked meals like this. So we have our flagship showroom here in the heart of London, which was opened last year, where people can come and see our system in action. We can do live demonstrations and also have a good sit down and discuss any design requirements for your new kitchen. Now, the system can be integrated in an existing kitchen or it can be integrated in a new kitchen. Now, together with this AI technology, we can combined with some of the best Italian furniture manufacturers, for example, Minotti, we can combine and integrate our robotic system with furniture as well. So this model here you see is the X-Air model. This is on a peninsula design, and we've got real wood slatted door panels and high mirror finished wall units as well. We're going to have automated opening systems with Blum servo drive mechanisms, and also push to open door mechanisms as well. And we also do all the different work surface finishes, from Corian to granite to marble to quartz, and even some of the Cosentino range, which is the Decton and the Sensor marble finishes as well. So here we have the Polish sausage that's just gone in. And by the way, guys, it smells absolutely fine. It smells really good so far. And just to my right, just behind me, you'll see our BM model. Now, that's a more back-to-wall sort of design. So if you're restricted on space, we can more or less design any kitchen to any space. And that's a galley kitchen where the robotic system is against the wall, together with the shelving and all the utensils. And just beyond the BM is our newer model, which is the BM module. And that module has an integrated oven. So the robotic arm, not only can it cook from the induction hob, but it can also cook recipes that are oven-based as well. So we are beta testing some nice new oven recipes. And once they're tested and confirmed, we'll load them up onto the recipe library, and you'll be able to see on our website some of the new recipes on our new BM module, which are recipes require oven baking, for example, as well. We've already tested, like chocolate brownie comes out fantastic, and also few other recipes that we're testing now as well. But please do keep an eye on our website. You'll see some of these new recipes going up very, very soon. So, as you can hear from the voice notification on our interface, we're 43% of the way through, and the next part of this will be, we'll place the spatula and it will do the next process and add the next ingredient. As you see, I haven't done anything apart from prepare the ingredients. Now, the preparation of the ingredients didn't take me too long. We were going to cook this today and they came in fresh today. We actually chose the ingredients ourselves, so you can actually see exactly what's going in your recipe by choosing and selecting fresh ingredients from your local store. And we can also do that from the Get Ingredients on our interface. So we have a Get Ingredients function where you can send a reminder to a mobile phone, to yourself or to somebody else, to remind them to bring these ingredients fresh, ready to be cooked. Also later on, we'll be introducing a delivery where you can actually have these ingredients delivered as well, but that'll be later on down the line.
Stir sauce.
Can't see any questions yet on our Instagram Live or YouTube, so I'm sure you guys enjoy watching this recipe being cooked so far. Not only will it do the actual sauce and the main part of the recipe in one pot, but in parallel, it will also be able to do the spaghetti as well. So as you see in the pan, we've had that 1,600 grams of water ready. This is where the spatula comes into play, where it will position the basket. Pasta will be poured, that will be cooked, and then combined with the main pot in the main sauce. Now, the energy efficiency is very, very high in our system. For an hour's worth of use, this only requires about 120 watts of energy, only because it precisely uses the temperature and the heating process as and when required. So it will turn on the hot water when it needs to start boiling. When it's ready, the pasta will be put into the water, and then it'll switch off. Normally when we cook, we leave the pot running for a little bit longer, or we may turn on both the hobs unnecessarily. So you're using unnecessary energy, where this is much more precise. So it's not only is it very healthy recipes that you're having, but it's also very energy efficient as well. The actual power supply for this is only requires a plug-in system, which is like for the UK, 220 watts of energy, of power to plug in. So it's just like a normal appliance, like a normal fridge or a normal microwave appliance that you'd have in your regular kitchen. The arm itself is industrial level. It's already tested for 35,000 hours. So in a residential environment, say maybe 2 to 3 hours of use per day, this could run for 10 years without any issues at all. So it's already, the arm is actually already in use in 90,000 different applications around the world, from laboratories to different types of industries. So worldwide support, we have lots of partners, local partners in any country that can also support our system as well. Also, the good thing about having these healthy recipes is if you're on some sort of weight management, or if you're controlling what you eat, if you need to lose weight quickly and so on, a lot of these recipes are designed to help you do that. Not only if you've got the cancer benefits and the diabetes and the kidney benefits, reducing those areas, but also obesity and overweight. If you're obese and overweight, by cooking like this regularly, you can reduce it by 11%. If you've got any cardiovascular diseases or hypertension, that can also be reduced by almost 11%. Cerebrovascular disease by 13%. If you're suffering from depression or any other case of mortality, that can be reduced by about 15%. So it's a great benefit having freshly home-cooked meals like this. Also, in terms of cost saving, just to give you an example, say a family of 4 who regularly eats from restaurants and takeaway meals can easily spend around about £40,000 per year. Now, by cooking at home like this. For example, I'll give you an example, it's spaghetti bolognese. Now, spaghetti bolognese in a very good restaurant in London can cost in between 15 to 18 pounds. But using the same ingredients can actually only cost you £6 using this system. Not only that, you're having lower calories, a lot less saturated fat, because a lot of the ingredients they use in takeaways and restaurants, you don't never see the ingredients. So they have to use a lot of ingredients to preserve their food and their sauces. Sometimes they even have to freeze some of their produce in order to maintain a high level of supply. Whereas here, you're using fresh ingredients. There's no need for freezing. There's no additional saturated fat, and your calorie count is a lot lower and a lot healthier. Let's see if we have any questions. Currently, I can't see any questions, so hope you're enjoying watching this so far. Now, the Polish sausages have just gone in, and we are about 68% of the way through the recipe, so we're over halfway through, and the actual main part of the actual recipe is nearly ready, and the water has already started, and the salt has already gone in, just to give the spaghetti a bit of taste. There was quite a high level of salt, but that's just purely for the water, so that's not going to be used in your final dish. That's just purely to give the spaghetti some taste. But if you are on some sort of weight management program, or if you're very conscious about the amount of salt that you're having, for example, the sodium level in a lot of the foods from takeaways and restaurants is very high, you can actually omit the salt completely. You don't need to put any salt in this whatsoever. So even though there is a guide for this recipe, you still have control over what you put in the actual final result. So you can actually take away the salt completely if you wanted to. Also, another frequently asked question is if you can put your own recipes into the system. Yes, you can. We have an in-house chef, James Taylor. If you send in your recipes together with lots of information, how it's cooked, maybe even in videos as well, or how you make it, we can actually add your own recipe, a very, very famous family favorite, or a recipe that's been handed down certain generations. We can add that to the recipe library, so you have that to use not only for yourself, but that could potentially be shared around the whole world. So what James Taylor, our chef, does is look at your recipe in a lot of detail and cooks it a few times. Then he gives all the information to our engineers. Our engineers are based here in London. We have 2 floors. The main floor is the showroom itself, and the floor below is where the engineers are based. And they'll look at the recipe, look at all the notes that James Taylor will put on your recipe, and then they'll load all the algorithms, do some testing on the final robotic arm, and have it into the library within about 3 to 4 days.
Stir spage tea.
So the pasta's gone into the water, so that's going to cook. That's fresh pasta as well, by the way. And that's going to be cooking, and that shouldn't take too long. Some other frequently asked questions is how many portions can this particular recipe cook? So most of our pots here, on average, most of our pots have about 3 to 4 person serving. And so that's the average servings per recipe.
Set water 10 to 7.
Also, some other questions we get asked is, can you see the actual nutrition, the actual levels of sodium, which is your salt, the carbohydrates, and so on? Yes, you can. Every single recipe, as you noticed before, you don't, not only do you have the list of ingredients and the weight required for each item, there's also nutritional information for every single recipe, so you can have a real controlled, a real managed sort of diet if required. So another question we get asked is, what is the lead time for our system? So lead time is currently 3 to 6 months, depending on the design and the architecture of your kitchen. If you want just a chef's table, we can do an independent standalone system, which is our chef's table, and that can be available within about 3 to 4 months. The actual starting price is about 60,000 for a chef's table, and the actual price for, say, for example, a kitchen like this, which is the XM model, with the real wood vertical design finishing on the doors, is about 75,000. The kitchen just behind me is about 90,000. Now, a lot of these kitchens, we sent the actual plans and drawings of these to a lot of local premium high-end kitchen companies, and the prices of these kitchens were around about the same price as our kitchens, but obviously the difference is our kitchens include the robotic system. So you get a really, really good value for money as well. We also do lots of other finishes in terms of work surfaces. We do Patagonia marble, we do white Carrara marble, we do granite, we do blue pearl granite, assoluto, dark granite. We can do some real nice high-level finishes in terms of your worktops. The Patagonia can be used as splashbacks, as a feature in part of your kitchen design, which can also be illuminated. So you can have illuminated marble and natural stone in your kitchen design. And we do all the design work from here. I myself, we're able to do all the design and produce a full quote with the design and the robotic system. We do all the installation. The average price for the installation is about £5,000 to install a whole kitchen, and that's dry fitting installation. That doesn't include the plumbing or the electrics, but if anything like that is required, we also have contacts with other fitters who will do the plumbing and electrics. But the dry fitting we can do, and also the robotic installation our engineers can also perform as well.
Tip spaghetti into sauce.
Just checking to see if there's any further questions on YouTube or Instagram. Okay, so we're 96% of the way through the recipe, so we're almost complete. Now the final part, which is the spaghetti, has gone in, and it's already turned off the hob for the water, so it's going to, saving you energy there. And it's going to do some last stirs, and this particular recipe will be ready. And I'll actually show you what the finished result will be, and I'll do a little taste test for you as well, so you can see that this particular recipe is actually complete, as you would get in a restaurant, for example. So I'll do a little taste test for you guys so you know, I can tell you exactly what it tastes like. Question from VTuber Clips, what is the price for it? Just wondering. Not sure if you got the what I mentioned earlier, but the starting price is about 60,000 for our chef's table, which is a standalone system which can be integrated into an existing kitchen, or we can design that into a new kitchen, but it can be standalone. And this unit here, which is the XM model with the peninsula design and the wall units and the base units, looking at about 75,000, and the BM model, which is a long back-to-wall system, together with all the appliances, work surfaces, and so on. And that's actually got a large interface. You'll notice the screen on there. That's a 43-inch high-resolution graphical user interface. And that whole kitchen is roughly about 95,000, depending on the actual finishes you have on your door fronts and your panels. And that just gives you a good idea of the cost. We are available for exporting to anywhere in the UK and in Europe. We're fully certified for UK and Europe. But due to that, we can also supply to the US and the Far East, X work, so you'd be responsible for the shipping or the air freight. But we are able to supply this product out of the UK and out of Europe as well. So it's fully certified. So, as you just heard in the background, this recipe is now complete. So that's the finished result. I'm going to grab a little bit in a bowl, and I'm going to show you guys, and maybe also do a taste test, tell you exactly how this dish tastes. Right, let's grab my bowl. Oh, it smells great. Okay, let's grab a little bit here. Let me get some of the bell peppers so you can see how well these bell peppers have been cooked as well. So here we have the final result. So as you see, I did absolutely nothing at all whatsoever, but the robotic system cooked this full meal for me. You can see the sausage, the Polish sausage, the pasta, the bell peppers, everything's perfectly cooked. I'm just going to do a quick little taste test for you guys so I can tell you exactly what it's like. Perfect, absolutely perfect. That tastes absolutely divine. So thank you all for joining us today. See you in about 2 weeks' time. If there's anything you need to ask, please do contact us via the website on our Contact Us page, and we'll be happy to answer any residential or even commercial questions from the commercial team as well. But please do get in touch, and I hope you enjoyed today's show, and I'll see you in 2 weeks' time. Goodbye.